Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight for News 13 at 6. I'm Kim Block.
And I'm Greg Lagerquist. It's the kind of story no parent, in fact, nobody ever wants to hear.
Brooklyn Foss Greenaway was just 3 months old when she died back in July while in the care of a babysitter. Tonight, state police say that death is now being investigated as a homicide. In an emotional interview, our Steve Roldan spoke with Brooklyn's mother.
I mean, it's not fair for a baby to die in that way. She was only 3 months old.
3-month-old Brooklyn Foss Greenaway had just begun her life laughing and smiling like most infants. But on July 7th, while being watched by a family friend named Amanda Heward at this home in Fairfield, first responders found little Brooklyn not breathing. The infant later died at a hospital in Waterville.
I get up in the morning and I usually have an hour where I just sit there and cry. I have a hole in my heart now, and I just don't know how to fill it.
Greenaway says the pain of her daughter's death is magnified even more, not knowing how her daughter died. She says investigators told her little Brooklyn was found with bruises on her face, medication in her system, and that she died as a result of suffocation. Heward, the woman who was caring for her, has not been charged in the case. Maine State Police here in Augusta have been investigating this case since July of this year and only now ruled it a homicide investigation. They say they're waiting for information from the medical examiner's office in terms of how to proceed from here.
Well, homicide is a death at the hands of someone else. And we had some misgivings about this case very early on. State police investigate all children's deaths under the age of 3, so us initially getting involved was not unusual. But as we got deeper and deeper in this case, we did have some serious questions.
We tried to talk to Heward at her home in Fairfield, but she was not there. State police are not talking specifics in the case, leaving Brooklyn's mother looking for answers.
There's a lot of questions of why, and I don't know if I'll ever get those answers. I don't know.
In Waterville, Steve Roldan, News 13.
No charges have been filed against anyone in this case.
Now to the story capturing the nation's attention right now. Isaac, now back down to a tropical storm, continues to dump a massive amount of rain all over Mississippi and Louisiana. And for comparison, this storm is still as large as the entire state of Maine. In fact, it's larger than the entire state of Maine, enough to cover it. And the flooding caused by this rain and storm surge proving to be a real problem along parts of the Gulf Coast. The levees have held in New Orleans, thank goodness. Take a look at these images, though, just southeast of there in Plaquemines Parish, where the governor says up to 40 people are still stranded. You can see right here, roofs of some homes just barely out of the water. Also want to show you a gas station down very near to this spot as well. Here it is, it's Citgo station. You can see the rain there up over the pumps there, almost to the roof of this structure as well. For comparison, we want to show you what this very gas station usually looks like. Now here it is, that same gas station on a normal day. When we take you down to street level, you can take a look. It's right over there. That's where the person took the photo from. You can see just how high that water is right in there. You can see that's where the gas pumps are. Now as we spin this picture right here, you can see this grassy berm right over on that side. It's just over that berm where the Mississippi River is. So an incredible amount of water flooding in some parts of Plaquemines Parish and other parts of Louisiana tonight. That river just a football field away from where this gas station is. So incredible amounts of rain, and it appears at this point that the levees are making all the difference. No levees in this area. There are levees in New Orleans. Kim, that's proving to be the difference.
Well, and as Greg was just saying, and as you can see, that storm is not moving very fast. Earlier today, Isaac was downgraded to a tropical storm, but that really isn't much relief to those who are still dealing with those driving rains and major flooding. Charlie LaPresti joins us now with more on the track of the storm and when it might start pulling away from the Gulf Coast. Charlie.
Well, they're dealing with big problems down there, no question about it, Kim. I saw an unofficial report of over 20 inches of rain. Just to put it into perspective for you, remember in Irene, we had all that flooding in the mountains? We had upwards of 8 inches of rain for the max amounts. Of course, that's a different situation because it's raining in the mountains and the rain is nowhere to go in a situation like that except down in the river valleys. Let's take a look at the latest imagery from This is Isaac, of course. This is the satellite radar composite to start us out. Latest information right now is 70 miles per hour. Gusts right now a little bit higher, running about 86 miles per hour. Still a tropical storm. It's not expected to move very fast. In fact, I want to show you how big this is. We just talked about how big the storm system is. It is bigger than the state of Maine. It's close to 325 miles across from south to north, close to 350 miles there. So they're still looking at copious amounts of rainfall there, and that will again be the big story going forward. We saw a bunch of photos of water levels up to roofs. How about water levels over roofs? This is one of the more impressive photos I could find here. That one's from Plaquemines Parish, where a levee was breached. All right, where's the storm going? Well, the storm is still expected to be a tropical storm around 2 o'clock in the morning tonight. Still expected to be a tropical storm around 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. It will eventually lose its tropical characteristics and move out ever so slowly over the next couple of days. Okay, sunny skies back at home. Our weather could not be better. High temps will be in the 80s tomorrow. If you're looking for that one last 90-degree day in August, I think we're going to do it. Friday, highs will be around 90. Cooler air moves in over the weekend. Now, coming up in a few minutes, it will be a pleasure to bring you this long holiday weekend forecast. I think you're going to like it. Really something for everyone in this forecast.
We're just so lucky, Charlie.
We are lucky.
Thanks.
Thank you, Charlie. Well, the Maine Red Cross is adding to its relief efforts to the Gulf Coast right now, which is already the relief agency's biggest response effort of the year. A third emergency response vehicle and 2 more volunteers joined the 24 volunteers already down there. We were there as the volunteers were throwing a few more bags into the back and preparing for their 30-plus hour trek down to Mississippi. They say that trip is going to be a long one, but well worth it considering the long road to recovery that many Gulf Coast residents face. And they're very aware that today is the 7-year anniversary of Katrina.
It's quite an experience to have this happen again, especially on the anniversary of Katrina. So they've been through this before. They lived there. They're aware of these hurricanes and tornadoes. And we're going down there to help them. And that's what we do.
Good feeling knowing you're going down there, hard work ahead. But
I love it. This is what I do. It's very, very rewarding.
Now, the Red Cross says another mental health worker has also been deployed to Texas to help counsel storm victims there. And if you'd like to help, they sure could use it. They say the need for donations is especially high right now. For information on how you can donate, how you can help out, just log on to our website, WGME.com.
It is a disgusting surprise in a South Paris woman's lunch. She says the chicken she bought in an Oxford Walmart was infested with maggots. And we want to warn you, some of this video is disturbing. News 13's Jana Barnello spoke to the woman today.
My stomach is like,
Don't show Dina Tracy any food. She hasn't eaten since...
This is what I find in my bucket of chicken. It's a maggot. It's a damn maggot.
Tracy's video of maggots in her chicken has gone viral. It started Monday morning when she picked up a few things at the Oxford Walmart and decided to pick up lunch for her daughter.
She wanted popcorn chicken. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll just do the pick 3. It's cheaper that way, I think, anyway.
But she says she got more than she paid for. Tracy and her daughter ate some of the chicken before she spotted the maggots.
Ew.
Tracy's no stranger to this Walmart. She says she shops here all the time and even worked here back in 2004. She says she left on good terms and has no axe to grind with the company, except now for the maggots.
I just don't feel like a refund is good enough for a situation like this. It's not returning a pair of pants. It's not returning a shirt that might have a little tear in it that you didn't notice. This is actually something that me and my daughter consumed.
How do we know you didn't put the bugs in there yourself?
Not touching a maggot, let alone wanting to eat it, or no.
As for what happens next, a quality assurance inspector from the state is investigating. Tracy is hoping her viral video brings more consumer awareness.
Check their food, make sure that this isn't going to happen to them. I don't want to see other kids eating stuff. I don't want to see anybody eating that.
And since seeing the maggots, Tracy can't see herself eating anytime soon. In South Paris, Jana Barnello, News 13.
We reached out to Walmart for comment, and according to a spokesperson, state inspectors and a third-party pest management company found, quote, no cause for concern at the Oxford Walmart.
Now, your Weather Authority forecast with Charlie DePresti.
right, welcome back, everyone. Today was a perfect 10 in my book. We had gorgeous sunny skies, low humidity, and the temperatures were perfect, mid-70s across the region. If it was too cool for you, expect a big warm-up starting tomorrow. In fact, temps will warm to around the lower 80s. Let's take a look at your 3-day forecast. Low 80s tomorrow. If that's too warm for you, just wait until Friday. I think we're near 90 degrees to end out the work week, the final day of August. And I think we start out September with slightly cooler temps. Saturday, upper 70s, which is actually still a few degrees above your normals. Current temps are running in the 70s, 75 for Wiscasset, Portland, mid-70s for you in Augusta, Rockland, lower 70s. So pretty uniform air mass. The wind's still a little breezy out there. Much like last night, it's going to be a cool night. Lows will range from 50s at the coast to widespread 40s for many inland towns. There may be a few sheltered mountain valleys that again dip into the 30s. Last night, Berlin, New Hampshire was in the upper 30s. Satellite radar, closer inspection here. There are a few clouds over northern sections and over eastern sections as well. I expect plenty of sun to remain in the forecast for not only this evening but tomorrow as well. So we'll need the sunglasses on your Thursday and we'll need them again on Friday. The big story will be the big temperature swings. Again, today we're in the 70s, tomorrow 80s return, and Friday's return. 90s return on Friday. There we go. All right, that's the latest of Isaac right there. Still a tropical storm dumping many inches of rain down through Louisiana. Some folks have been wondering how this storm will be affecting our weather. Well, it will eventually surge to the north and bring some moisture into our neck of the woods, and the time frame for that will be Tuesday of next week. So we still have a great stretch end of the week and a great stretch as we head into the weekend as well. The long holiday weekend does look very nice. Notice how quiet it is for the rest of the nation. Isaac, again, still a tropical storm with sustained winds of around 70 miles per hour. It's not moving very fast. In fact, at last check, I saw a peak rainfall amount of just over 20 inches of rain. Really amazing stuff down there. Severe flooding is the big concern going forward. 7 o'clock in the morning, back at home tomorrow. We have temps starting in the 50s for most towns. Afternoon temps easily warm into the 80s. The exception to that across mid-coast Maine. A few spots will stay in the 70s there. So lower to mid-80s for your Thursday. Check out the temps on Friday. A weak front moves through. The wind shifts over to the west. A downsloping wind that day will warm us up to around 90 degrees. Some towns inland may even touch the lower 90s. It's this sort of weather pattern that we get our warmest days from, or hottest days from. So Friday appears to be a very, very warm one around here. I expect nice dry air to start the day, but the humidity will slowly be on the increase late. Temps will be in the 80s tomorrow, near 90 on Friday. Cooler air moves in over the weekend, still upper 70s on Saturday, mid-70s Sunday. The long holiday weekend does look mostly sunny. Our next chance for rain, Tuesday into Wednesday. That remnants of Isaac will try to get caught up with a trough as a cold front approaches. So it will just be plain old rain by the time it arrives here. And I still think it will be after the Labor Day weekend. So that's good news all around.
Incredible amount of energy we're talking about to have that down south and still have something left for us next week.
Yeah, and just for it to be so far away, it's going to take a good 6 days for it to get here too. So it's moving very slowly.
Still have a little punch, at least in terms of the rain. All right, thank you, Charlie.